luck 4th grade worksheet lesson 19. And for today, what we'll be covering is finding the sum and multiplication, and the directions are written here, division, and some word problems. So let's start off by doing find the sum questions, and we'll do a couple of these, and then you can try on your own. And for starters, we're going to do number 1, 1/8 plus 5/8. I typically like writing it like this, but that way is fine too. But when you look at this, you know that the denominator, which are these two, are essentially the same. So you could just add 1 plus 5 together and get 6/8 as your answer for number 1. Moving on, let's do number 3, 4/12, which also has the same denominator, so it should be pretty easy, which you should have got to 9 and 12. But wait, can 9 and 12 be simplified more? Unless the question did say like simplify this question even more, then you probably should, but typically you should. So 9, 12, what is like a number that both 9 and 12 could like get divided by? 3, right? So if you divide 9 by 3, you'd get 3, and then you divide 12 by 3, you get 4. So the answer is 3/4. Moving on to 5, 1/4 plus 2/4. Again, the denominator is the same, so it would be 3/4. And then moving on to 7th, 2/10 plus 5/10. And you see that both of the denominators are the same again, but the numerator are different, but the numerator doesn't really matter unless the denominator is the same, so it's going to be 7/10. And then moving on, 9, 4/8 plus 2/8, and that's probably going to be the last one for this one. You see that the denominator is the same again, and you can add the numerators and get 6/8. But wait, you could divide these, you could simplify it more, and you can identify that a number that can be divide these numbers even to its simplest form, like you can't divide it anymore, like the number is not divisible and it's just there. That would be, you can divide both of these numbers by 2, so you get 3/4. Yeah, there you go. Moving on, let's do multiplication. What these are more known as is called long multiplication, I guess, because you're gonna have to do more than one step. So let's do number 1, 142 times 16, and I'm not gonna do all of these because they take a while, so I'm gonna do a couple of these. So we're gonna first do 2 times 6, which is 12. 4 times 6, that's 24. Add the 1, that's gonna be 25, but you need to move the tens over and move it up there. 6 times 1, that's 6, and then you gotta add the 2 and get 8. And then now you're gonna do the tens place, and whenever you do the tens place, you always add a 0. And then 1 plus 2 is 2, 1 plus 4 is 4, 1 plus 1 is 1, and then you're gonna add these together, 5, 7, 2, and then 1, and then 2. So 2,272 is gonna be your answer for number 1. Moving on, let's do number 2, 322 times 12, and then 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and then again add a 0, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3, and then add these together, 4, 6, 8, 3, 3,864. And then for let's move on to actually number 6, 655 times 36. And yeah, so 5 times 6 is 30, but because there's no ones, you gotta move it over. 6 times 5 is 30 again, but again, no ones, so 3, move the 3 over. 6 times 6 is 36, add the 9 and 30, because 36 plus 3 is 39. And then 3 times 5, I always add the thing 0. That's gonna be 5, 1. 3 times 5, that's gonna be 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. Move the 1 over again, and then 3 times 6, 18. Add the 1, 19. So you're gonna add these numbers together now, and then get 23,580 for this one. And then yeah, that's basically gonna be it. It's pretty much the same thing, long division. If you know simple multiplication, you should be able to like 2 times 6, that's 12, so you can like just carry it over in these equation and this. You're just doing more multiplication in this because you're dealing with hundreds instead of like simple ones here. So yeah, Okay, moving on, let's do some divisions. You're gonna find each quotient. So let's do number 1. So 56 divided by 4. So I like doing it in this form because you can do the long division. So how many 4s can go into 1s? 5s, 1 time, so 4. And then carry the 6 over, 16. How many 16s can go inside? How many 4s can go inside 16? 4 times. And then 0. So your answer is going to be 14. Let's do 2. You don't really actually have to do this, but you can kind of just guess. So let's try 6. 3 times 6, is that 18? Yup, it is. So the answer is going to be 6. Let's do 3. 72 divided by 8. Again, you don't really have to do this, but let's just think. What number? 7. 7 doesn't work because that's 56. 8. That doesn't work because that's 64. Let's try 9. Yep, that works. It's 72. So the answer is going to be 9 for number 3. Let's try something a bit harder like 5. So 84 divided by 3. And then how many 3's can go inside 8? 2 times, right? So that's going to be 6. Move the 2. And then carry the 4 over. 24. So how many 3's can go inside 24? 8, right? So that's going to be 24. Cancel those out. Now it's 0. And now you're only going to get 28. Okay. Let's try doing number 8 as our last one. 60 divided by 5. How many 5's can go inside 6? Once, right? So 5 and then carry the 0 over. So how many 5's can go inside 10? Twice, right? So then that's 10, 0. So yeah, the answer for number 8 is 12. Alright, let's do some word problems now. So it says Jane goes into a store and orders a total of 85 blue and green balloons for her daughter's birthday. However, she wants 25 more green than blue balloons. How many balloons of color will she take home? Alright, so essentially she orders a total of 85. So there's a total of 85, but she wants 25 more green. So I guess she wants like, how should I write this? 25 plus G, I guess, because she wants 25 more greens than blues. So essentially what you're gonna do, so sorry, not 25 times G, because of that. Alright, so then how you would approach this kind of question is, since she wants 25 more greens than blue balloons, and there's a total of 85 only, and what that means is that the blue balloons would have a minus of 25, whereas the green balloons would have a 25 more. So how you would approach this is, first you do 85 minus 25 because that's the amount. So just ignore this, that's not it. 85 plus 25, and you're gonna get 60, right? But then you're gonna have to divide it by 2 because there's 2 balloons, so 30. So now that there's 30, one of them wants to get 25 more, so you're gonna have to add 25 to one of them and get 55, meaning that 55 greens would be present, whereas there would be 30 because the total is that. So why you had to do 85 minus 25 is because originally it said that 25 more greens than blues, and what we were trying to do is trying to find the amount for the blue balloons, because 85 minus 25 is 60, but because there's 2 balloons, you have to divide that equally.